lot of really young players who are probably playing above themselves at that time. Maybe those players take another step up. Maybe that was really good for them having that playoff run, and they're going to continue to push on from that. I wanted to highlight one of their younger players who I had really not taken seriously until that finals run last season, being Duncan Robinson. A really, really good player, great
Yeah.
scorer. And I saw a stat on Twitter the other day that I wanted to bring up. It's the best field goal percentage off of catch and shoot threes, minimum 500 attempts. This is in, I think, the last 4 seasons since he's been in the NBA. There's 5 names on this list. Do you want to take a guess at who the other two, or I should say 5 seasons, 3 names. Do you want to take a guess at who the other two players are?
On the Miami Heat.
Nope, this is total NBA catch and shoot
Oh.
threes.
Uh, Steph Curry.
Number 4, 43.7%. Who's the other
Ooh.
name?
I'm trying to think. Do they get 8 steps after they catch it? Because then I would say James Harden.
No. It's a man we've touched on earlier who I'm sad to see not be playing this season. Klay Thompson shooting 44 and 43.7%. But all this to say, Duncan Robinson has the best catch and shoot 3 percentage out of any player since he's gotten into the league at 46.2%.
That's impressive. That really is. And we should also mention Tyler Hero had an amazing postseason last year for being so young. So they do have potential. Maybe I shouldn't get down on myself so quick. I do think that they're still going to be a solid team.
Yeah, I would agree. Okay, so another team, my final pick, a team that probably will be, I would say, a real contender to being the best team in the Eastern Conference, but a lot of pieces that weren't there last season, or pieces that you're going to have to work in and see kind of what happens. I'm talking about the Brooklyn Nets. Obviously, the biggest one being KD coming back off of injury and playing really, really well so far this season. And it looks like one of the big concerns that was going to have when both him and Kyrie joined the team was obviously, will they be able to play well together? Are they going to be able to work off each other and find a good flow and everything like that? And then obviously in the offseason, adding Steve Nash as the head coach, a lot of questions surrounding that as well. And I would say so far, all signs being great. The first 2 games, Kyrie's playing absolutely out of his mind, averaging 31.5 points a game. KD with 25.5 points a game, both of them on under 30 minutes. So they're basically picking their spots at this point. And they're a team that was able to re-sign Joe Harris, which I think is huge. They have a really, really deep bench. And if you're able to add any kind of step up from where they were last season, obviously adding KD back to that team, I think they're going to be a really serious challenger. The one question I have for them so far is that there was a ton of speculation in the offseason that they were going to try to add James Harden, that James Harden was really interested in that. And if that was to happen, and I want to get your opinion on this as well, if that was to happen, I don't think that would be a good move for the Nets, because obviously you're going to have to give up a couple of those pieces that I've already talked about. It's basically going to be KD, Kyrie, and James Harden, and who else knows? And the biggest question from that obviously being, will James Harden be able to play kind of second fiddle with Kyrie or vice versa? I think KD has shown that playing in Golden State for 3 seasons, he can absolutely do that. He can be more of a guy who fits in with the flow of the game, picks the spots where he needs to contribute. I think there's no problem with him, but that would be the biggest question for me, is will that actually work out with what you'd have to give up for him? What are your thoughts on that?
Not worth it. Yeah, for me, I think maybe in a season from now, after you've seen how things have fully formed with KD and all the pieces that you have, then maybe you could make an adjustment to say, okay, maybe we need to try something else. But if I were the Nets, I would stick with what we've put together. Again, James Harden, to go to the analogies, is still that friend who, even like, you're just like, man, I don't even know if I want you around my spouse. You're just that guy who, like, I don't trust you.
Yep.
I would think it's a terrible move. I would much rather see how the season develops with just the pieces they have, especially with getting KD back and him playing so well.
Yeah, I would agree. Okay. Unless you have anything else to say, I think that pretty much wraps up our NBA coverage for today.
Yeah, I think so. That was good.
Awesome. So sweet. Yeah, I'm really happy we're able to touch on that because I'm actually really excited about the NBA coming back this season. It's something I look forward to every season, but with me not being necessarily all that invested in the NFL and college football this season, I was really stoked that NBA came back. So hopefully that was of some help to you guys. You got some information out of that you probably didn't have before, or just have a better idea of what's going to be going on in the NBA this season. So that about wraps it up for us on this edition of the podcast. We'll catch you guys again probably next week with another podcast, being still on the winter break for me from school. Hopefully we can catch you guys another week, but for this week I'd just like to say thank you again for taking the time to talk to me, Steven. It's always a pleasure, and take care, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Peace.